So, following our meeting on Friday, so today what we will do, we'll start and dive into the system and understand what are the first steps in order to actually start and sell. So we're discussing dropshipping from Amazon to eBay, Amazon to Wish, Amazon to Amazon, Banggood, which is a site on China, which is also a source. So our system is basically divided between sources and targets. Okay? Those are the two sides. Feel free, by the way, anytime you have a question or something, just to point it out, or if you prefer to write it down in the chat here, and then I'll answer them after we're done. Okay? Yeah. We have a chat here.
Yeah.
So this is a general overview of the system. I will now go and will imitate myself to be a new user. Okay, so I will go now and be a new user which has nothing on the system.
Okay.
Okay, so you see this specific user right now is right after registration. So this specific user will have to choose to which plan to join. Okay?
Okay.
And after joining to the plan, he will be able to actually do the next step. So let's say that I'm joining now a plan. One of the things that you need when starting to work on this thing is that you will need to have a PayPal account, right? So you'll need to have your own PayPal account. As you can see, I have some, which is a verified one. So this is just a process right now of right after registration. In order to actually being able to work, I need to approve my payment and log in the seller, this person. I don't know what they want. Maybe I made some mistake. I'm sorry, just a second. Let's take another one. I couldn't log in because that was the account that receiving the funds. I'm sorry.
Oh, no issue.
Okay, so I approved the payment method for the test trial that we have right now. And now you will see that the next step is, in order for me to continue in work, I actually need to connect some account, some target account. Where am I going to sell?
Okay.
I'm going to sell on eBay. I'm going to sell on Wish, Bonanza, or Amazon. So for each one of them, when you will choose, you will be able to see the information required, which is mandatory in order for the system to communicate with the target that we're applying. Let's go to eBay for now. Okay. So on eBay, when adding an eBay account, must be the account name match the account name from the target. Okay. So let's go for eBay. This is one of my eBay accounts.
Right.
Okay, and that's my eBay account, and it's the Rose-20.
Okay.
Okay. The Rose-20. Now I need to add my PayPal account to which I want to receive funds to.
Okay.
Okay, it has to be a verified PayPal account. Then, since we're going to sell on the US, we're writing a general address, which is US, United States. Okay?
Okay.
So we have US, we have United states.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a few things. You can actually save here and continue, but the next thing, there are a few things that you should refer to if you want. For example, send customer notifications. Send customer notifications, it will be explained here for whoever is logging in, but basically it means that we're sending automatic notifications to customer after purchases, after shipping, in order to keep them in the loop of the process and keep them happy, you know. Thank you for ordering with us. If you have any questions, we're here. And then your item was shipped, you'll get it within a few days or something like that, or a few things like this. In the future, we'll also enable here the ability to edit your own messages if you want and change it as you see fit. Okay? Now, let's say that this account, for example, is an unlimited account. But let's say that this account is a limited account, meaning, and it's not in use right now. So let's say this account has limits of 5,000 items, and I never used it, which means I have another 5,000 items, and it has also a limit of money, okay? Or I can leave it closed. Now we're getting to the interesting part.
Okay.
As you can see, use default account settings. If you won't touch it, then you'll get whatever settings that I defined in the system.
Okay.
But if you touch it, you have here a lot of smart things that you need to refer to. For example, using PayPal, each one of us has a different fees on PayPal that you're paying. Usually it's around 3.5%, plus a fixed fee, which what they call border fees. Okay? Then you have target percentage fees. Usually on eBay, it's 9%. Okay? And you have target fixed fees. Now, on eBay, for example, there aren't any fixed fees. But the reason that I'm using here some fixed fee is that let's say that I'm selling now very, very cheap items, like in $1 or $2 or $5, and I'm aiming for 10% profit. But when selling such cheap items, I don't want to do all the process in order to make 20 cents. So I want to keep at least some minimum thing of earning that I will want to aim to. Okay? Then minimum profit over it. If you won't touch it, it will be disabled. But let's say that I'm putting here 5%. This means that even when you will make a listing and you will choose 3 to 3% or 3 to 4%, or you will say I'm okay with 1%, the system will override what you wrote and will say no, the minimum profit required is 5% at least, because I defined it as well as one. Okay?
So this changes from every item to item, you want?
I'm sorry?
Does this change item to item?
Listed items already?
Yeah. Does it change with every item, or is it a fixed price?
No, it's a fixed. This is right now we're setting up the account.
Okay.
It's not per item.
Okay.
But when listing, I will show you listing later. When listing, you can choose per listing.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
And the next thing is percentage negative profit threshold. Meaning, when doing automatic processing, then you can choose to say that whatever is within 5% range, I will auto process it, even if it's wait, we lost someone.
Yeah. Go ahead. You are.
Yeah, sorry. So this means that when processing auto ordering, then you might want either by percentage or by absolute to choose to place order. For example, I'm placing order even up to -5 automatically because I'm looking to do a lot of orders, and I don't care right now if the order was stuck because there was the item was changed right before we bought it, or something else happened, or taxes were added, and all of a sudden there is a minus there, I don't care. I will process it anyway because I will make some money on the next transaction, okay?
Right.
So this is what it is. And the last thing is, not the last, run before the last, is end products after X days. This means that when ending a product, that when listed, we're listing the products on a GTC, which is good till cancel. While every 30 days, eBay are charging you, depends on your subscription, are charging you listing fees.
Okay.
So you can choose here, let's say, that after 30 days, whatever didn't sell, you want it to be removed. So the system will automatically end every item after 30 days. Okay?
Okay.
Now you can choose to do this, actually to remove it, but you can also choose to auto-relist it. And that's a small trick. Why is it a small trick? Because on one hand, those items didn't sell. But you don't really want to end them, but you want them to be in the system, but the system will look at it as new items, because search engines on marketplaces give an advantage for new items in the system. So when you're doing here 30 days, and you're doing here this one to be green lighted, then after 30 days, the items that didn't sell will be ended and relisted as new. So the system in the search engine will refer to it as new. But if you're saying, I don't care new or not new, something that didn't sell is not selling, then you need to put this on the red.
Okay.
Or if you're saying, I don't care about this, I'm putting 0, and I will do my own research and choose when to end items after a while, because I will choose by price, by profit, by I don't know what, then ignore it as well. Okay?
Okay.
So again, to recap, if this one, if this one is becoming green, you will just use the default system, the system default. If it becomes red, you can edit all the things that I told you. See, now I just came back to become default again.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So let's say that I did this, and now I'm doing save.
Understood.
Okay. Now, as you can see here now, we're logged into the system. We have an account connected. Okay? Now I need to create an auto token to actually connect it to the system to work with. Okay? So when pressing here on the auto token, it will take me to the account. Now this specific account, I think it's restricted right now on eBay. Let's see if it will give us to do it, if it will let us to do it. Continue. No, it wouldn't. Okay, so it just cross out. So after approving the account,
Okay.
hold on. So basically, you're granting the system access to the account.
Okay.
Okay? And then you're going, we'll go now into another account that we will see how an account looks, and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
So we finished to connect an account.
Right.
And users, we're done connecting an account. Let's go on purpose here. Okay, so here you will see here, switch to this user. Okay, so now I'm again a regular user.
Okay.
My account on the targets is already connected. As you can see, I have a token here. and the account is active. You see?
Right.
Now I have different accounts. I have active, inactive. I have Bonanza account. I have eBay accounts. For each account, you have all the information, and you see here the limits
Okay.
of the accounts. Okay.
So you can have
So now we have
you can have multiple accounts from the same site, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
You can have multiple accounts. Usually, what we're doing, and this is why I was using this account right now on my computer, which I knew that is not working, is that in order to work with multiple accounts that won't be related by the marketplaces, we're using virtual machines.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do it right now through a virtual machine because it will take us a long time. But if you'll see here, for example, let me show you. Hold on, I'm opening something. So these are virtual machines of different accounts that we have.
Okay.
Okay? That I'm access each one of them separately.
Understood.
Okay?
Okay.
Cool. So now we have an account which is connected. The next thing that we need to do, okay, is we go into templates, because when listing on eBay, for example, you have the ability, when listing on eBay, for example, you have the ability to edit, to add an HTML template.
Okay.
That will look a bit nicer. Okay? So you can go into, now when you log in into a system, the system is creating, after creating the user, a very basic template HTML with no design and nothing. But here, for example, we have already a design which was created externally, and then we imported the code. Okay? And you can change your design here. You see, this is the design that I made. I added information of shipping, return, payment, all the required information. So things will be as clear as we can.
Okay.
And you can change it, you can edit it, you can edit it. You can choose maybe to allocate it for another target, but right now only eBay supports HTML templates. All the rest are just taking your information and creating their own HTML, okay? So I won't touch it right now, but you need to make sure that you have a template that you're happy with, or at least the basic template, okay? Then let's discuss UPC database. Do you know what a UPC is?
Yeah, it's the delivery, right? Logistic.
UPC and EAN numbers are generic numbers which have a structure which is accepted across the world as identifying specific items.
It's a standardization of the item coding of all the e-commerce.
It's like item coding, yes. If you look on every item,
right.
If you look on every item that you buy, on the package externally usually, you will see either an EAN or a UPC.
Right.
Now this being said, when taking items from a source, which is a dropshipping source, not always in the information they're providing, you will actually find the EAN or UPC, which is of this item, or you won't have it at all.
Okay.
Now, on the other side, on the target, sometimes there are categories which UPC is mandatory.
Okay.
But there is an option to go and buy UPC bulks of numbers, because there are people that are generating this. It's very cheap. I'm buying, you see here, I have here 23,000 listings of active UPCs which are new, and I have many that were used already or inactive. And I'm buying 100,000 each time for $20 or something like that. It's very easy to find. You can buy it on eBay or anywhere else. But what it means that when the system will identify that an item doesn't have a UPC, it will add a UPC.
Understood.
Now, this, by the way, goes back also to your strategy of items, and I will explain myself.
Okay.
When choosing an item, we have the ability, I will show you a bit later, but we have the ability to filter with UPC and without UPC. Now, if you're choosing, for example, I'm choosing either right now, but if you're choosing with UPC, let's say, then it's more likely that you're receiving items with a UPC which is recognized by the world, and if someone will try and search now for a specific item and will search by UPC, you will come as part of the results.
Okay.
But this being said, it means that there is also a lot of competition on this specific UPC, or might be.
Okay.
But if you choose items without a UPC, then you're creating your own product identity, which will become unique in the system. And when someone will look for something, you might appear there as a result, as an only result, and not by UPC, but by a keyword or something like that. Okay?
Okay.
So this is a strategy. Now, we're still on the target side. So we have the UPC to work with or without. We have how we're connecting an account, and we need templates. The last thing that we have here on the targets right now is Vero filters. What is a Vero filter? Vero filter is Vero. It's called after the program of eBay, which is basically a program that protects intellectual property. Since we're doing drop shipping, sometimes the system takes automatically images or descriptions or items that people won't like that we're reselling them or something like that, okay? Or they're protected under some kind of intellectual property. So whenever there is a complaint or a database which is added, then we're adding it here. With your permission, I'm putting you on mute for a second, okay? Oh, he has a problem there. So whenever you have a message coming in with a complaint or something like that, then we're adding it to our Vero database, which means that even if you will try to list an item which is forbidden, the system won't allow you in order to protect you. Okay? For example, you can take international brands like Nike, that they don't allow anyone who is not an authorized dealer to resell their items, or Adidas or something like that. Okay.
So how do you? So you also sometimes, you are just reselling the products which are already listed by another vendor. So in that case, how do you actually understand whether this is an authorized by the manufacturer or the OEM, or it is not authorized?
It's very hard to understand, but in general, as you can see, we have here 87,000 already results of products that we collected along the year that are forbidden to be sold, or we were requested. We're not arguing with anyone, even if it's not lawful. We're still just doing it as it is. So this is. But you need to, it's common sense, because let's say that you're looking out for an item, which is, let's go for something easy, okay? You'll try and you'll want to list medical devices or drugs. Drugs, not drugs like marijuana, but drugs like prescription drugs, okay? So it's not allowed. So you should know it's not allowed. Most of them are protected here, but you should also have common sense and not list them. Okay? Let's say now someone is going to sell weapons. Weapons are not allowed. No, they're allowed in different countries. But in general, we know that weapons are problematic. So I won't try and list weapons. I won't try and list international brands, which are known to be hard, but it's common sense and it's practice that you're learning as you go. For example, eBay are very strict regarding weapons, and even if you're advertising sometimes kitchen knives, they will remove it. Okay. Or when you're doing collectible items, there are sometimes collectible items which are forbidden, like Nazi souvenirs or KKK items and souvenirs.
Right.
All kind of things, or slavery, or things which are problematic in general.
Right.
You should know not to sell. Okay, so we have this. So we managed to connect an account. So we have an account which is connected. It can be Wish, it can be Amazon, it can be anything else. Now let's go. How are we locating items? And then we'll go through the process of listing, and then we will stop here today on targets, and maybe we'll move next time to source, unless we have more time. It depends on you.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the queries. Queries meaning we're looking for items on Amazon as to sell on eBay, Bonanza, and other places. To create a new query, you basically go here to the green button. You give a name to this query. Let's say test. You can either look by category on Amazon, by ASINs, or by a search link. For example, a search link, you just go into the Amazon site and look for a search link of the category that you want or for the items that you want. Or you can add specific ASINs to search by. Okay? So let's say that I'm going into Amazon. I went into Australia by mistake. Hold on. Okay. So we're in Amazon right now. Soon to be. Okay. So we're on Amazon. And now I will just choose an item. It doesn't matter which one. Okay, I'll choose a generic item right now. There are, by the way, a lot of courses and tools to help you choose the right item. Okay? So this is an ASIN. Let's say that I did my research and this is one of the ASINs that I'm collecting. Okay. So I'm going now back here and I'll just put the ASIN here, and I can put it with a space, with a comma, or one by one. It doesn't matter. Or you can have it in a file and just copy everything here, or you can look for it by EAN or UPC. Remember we discussed this?
Yeah.
So let's look at this specific item. Okay, and this specific item, does it have a UPC here? Description. So that's the ASIN.
Okay.
And I don't see, you see part of the information here should have been a UPC as well, but it's not here. Okay, now, so I'm searching for new items. Do I want to fetch competition or ignore competition?
Okay.
This also relates to your strategy. Fetch competition means that when searching for this specific ASIN and this specific item, the system will go automatically into eBay and will search for competition.
Okay.
And if we found a competitor, we will present it. I will show it to you later.
Okay.
If not, then it won't present it. Now, the strategy is that either you want items which are unique or you want items that are being sold by others. It's two different strategies. Okay?
Right.
And do you want the product variation or not? Taking the variation, if this item has different colors, different sizes, different, I don't know what. If it's a belt, for example, it can have 3 dimensions or something like that, okay? Of width, length, and color. So you can have all, and then, so you finish to choose all this, you're doing save, and now you have a query, which is starting to run.
Okay.
In general, queries are being run in the system one after the other, meaning if you just created 100 queries, we'll finish them one by one in order not to put them in parallel, and then you'll wait for everything to be ended, but each time one will be ended, the other one will start, and so on. Now,
so
here you can see.
Just a minute here. So here either you are doing either a web scraping or a API pull, right?
I'm sorry?
Here you're fetching the data through API or web scraping?
No, API.
API. API. Okay, great.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So here you see the queries, and you will see a symbol that will tell you, for example, this query was listed on eBay and on Bonanza. Okay? This was only on Bonanza. So let's go here, for example. You see this one is completed, was created by Twajit, which is one of our employees. And the reason that he didn't list it yet, because before listing them, they're basically doing some marketing improvements of the titles and the description. I will show you later how to do it.
Okay.
So right now we have here 831 items, and you can see here that these items were collected from Amazon. You can see here the picture. If you press on it, you will see all the images. Okay, you will see all the images. It's recommended to remove images which are clearly done by Photoshop and they are not real. For example, they prefer pictures that will look like a real picture that someone took and not some Photoshop. Okay? For example, this is not a real picture.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is not. This might be a real picture, or this might be a real picture, or so on. Okay?
Right.
So you're going through this, you can see the source price. By the way, the profit here is 0. Why? Because we didn't filter it yet. We didn't say we didn't tell the system how much profit do we want. Okay?
Understood.
And you can go through here. You have 800 items. You can go through them, and you can see them one by one. You can choose to remove some of them because you think they're problematic from a Vero point of view, or you don't like them. So you can mark them and delete them by just choosing here the button and pressing here on action to delete them. Okay? So you can choose to delete items.
So Yoel, can you just tell me, there are two prices here. One is the source price and one is the listing price. Now the listing price is the price which you define, right, as a part of this portal, or is this pulled from the account?
Listing price right now, what you see here right now, it's a 0 profit, which means listing price is based on source price plus 0 profit, but including all the commissions that we have for PayPal and eBay.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, understood.
And if you press here, for example, you will actually get what happened? I lost connection. Looks like it. Something happened to my connection. Hold on. Okay, so we were here on queries. We took here one of the listings. Okay, one of the queries. Okay, so we see here the items that we found. We see here the pictures. We see here the ASIN. We can press here and basically go and see the description, the title, and change it on the category and all the information that we have. Okay? And what we're doing now, after we reviewed it and we chose what to do with it or to delete some of them, what I'm doing right now is that I'm choosing the target that I want to list it to. Okay, let's say eBay.
Okay.
I'm choosing I want items between $1 to $10 on a source price, but you can choose whatever you see fit. For example, most items that are being sold on dropshipping are between $10 to $30. Okay? Then you choose that you want to make a profit of 10 to 15%. This means that the system will try to go for the high, and after a while, if it didn't sell, it will go to the minimum profit.
Okay.
Then, do you know what sales rank on Amazon is? A sales rank in Amazon, it means how high the Amazon item is being rated inside Amazon as sales. So you can filter it also by sales ranks. You can filter only item with competition or without competition. You can choose to ignore competition. This means that you don't care about competition with your pricing, and you don't care. But if you care about competition, the system will automatically make sure that within your profit range, you will be at least 1 cent cheaper than the competition, as long as you're in the profit range. You will choose the past discussion that we have about with or without UPC. And you will choose product variations, all product, without variation, only variations. Okay, let's say that I want to exclude variations. And this one, it's important. If you leave it on this charge, it means that when the system will identify that you cannot be cheaper than your competition, it will put your item out of stock and eventually will end it. If you're doing this, it means that even if the competition is cheaper, the system will force it to become a minimum profit, but it won't end it. It will just let you continue and try and sell it, but for a higher price from your competition. Okay? And then I'm pressing search.
So you will hear one point here. So when this comparison happens with respect to the competition and this particular logic is decided, you already, because there might be, how do you do the comparison? Because a lot of times there is a description change, there is a title change, a lot of things are actually, or the titles are different. So how do you do this?
There are two things. First, we're using an API method for all the platforms that allows you to get they're trying to identify competition, like they have get competition API.
The APIs have got the comparison features, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes, but beside that, what we're doing, we're comparing prices, we're comparing EAN and ASINs and UPCs, we're comparing specific keywords of the item and so on. So it's not 100% comparison, but it's as best as we can. So after I finish the filter, two things happen here. First, from the 1,000 results, I have only 436 results. And also you can see here a profit estimation, which is the highest profit that I asked for. Okay? And now I can do create target list. I'm choosing a name for it. Then I'm choosing to which store I want to list it to. You see I have here all my stores and with their limits. I'm choosing the quantity. We usually list on quantity 1 on eBay, on quantity 5 on Bonanza, on quantity 50 on Amazon and Wish. This relates to the way their algorithm is working. On eBay, when they see a last item, they're pushing it with all kind of promotions saying this is last item, try and get it. On Amazon and Wish, they prefer to have more inventory, and only then their search engine is saying, okay, this might be profitable for us because they have a lot of inventories. So if this item will catch up, we can do now 50 sales.
So what are the minimum levels? They have defined a minimum level. Amazon has defined that this much is the stock which you need to have.
No, there isn't a definition. You can offer one item, but it just experience of the algorithm how it works. Now, but this, there is a note here that needs to be reminded. That let's say that you're offering here, let's say now 5, okay? Now you went to do a purchase automatically, but all of a sudden there isn't enough quantity when you're trying to purchase, and it happens because the quantity changed.
Right.
So the risk is a bit higher, but in average, in most cases, we see this maybe once in, I don't know, 1,000 transactions or hundreds of transactions. It's not happening that much, okay?
Mm-hmm.
One more thing that you need to remember, since you're doing dropshipping, sometimes there will be a miss. The price changed right before we started to place the order, or the item went out of stock because someone just bought it 10 seconds before me. It happens. Or the client gave an address which is wrong, or you can't understand it, or the system won't accept it. Things might happen. Then you just dealing with it. Then you choose the handling time. I usually choose 3 business days, but in most cases from Amazon, even 1 or 2 business days, it's good. If you want to be on the safe side, it's 3 business days.
Okay.
Return policy. Return policy, we use usually 60 days. It's a matter of strategy. At the end of the day, the algorithm of the target marketplaces that we're using gives you a higher rank when you're offering a better service. A better service is a higher return policy. But don't be afraid of that, because even when you're having...
What would happen in case your original place, it is only 15 days and here you are giving 60 days, then you would be able to handle that situation?
Okay, it happens, but what happens is that, and this is one of the reasons that Amazon is such a good source, because Amazon are providing an excellent service. We have people that are sitting and doing chats with their customer support on the other side, and either getting a return label from them or just arguing with them on the chat and getting a refund. It's a matter of managing it. Even if there is a fifth, I'll give you an example. At some point, we sold sex items on eBay, which is only allowed if you're selling it and limiting it to a specific district and so on. But on sex items, there is no return policy on Amazon, because they assume that these things cannot be returned. But when we approach them with some problems of things that were broken, never arrived, or we want to return them, they would prefer to issue a refund.
Okay.
They would prefer to issue a refund rather than
taking it back.
Yeah, rather than taking it back. Yes. Okay. So this is where we are with this. And global shipping, yes or no? So when you have an eBay account, it only works on eBay. It doesn't work on other marketplaces, but on eBay you can offer global shipping.
Okay.
eBay has a global shipping program, GSP, that you need to enroll into it. And then if you're enrolled into it, then you have an increase of about 10 to 15% in sales, because people from anywhere in the world can order your items. And eBay basically will ship it to a warehouse in the US, and they will take care of the last mile to anywhere in the world. Now, but this being said, it's also problematic sometimes, because the customer support regarding international shipping is sometimes problematic. Because let's say that you shipped something using dropshipping here to Israel from New York, and now I will get it and it's not in the color that I wanted, and I want to return it. So usually what will happen is that we will just issue a refund. We won't deal with a return label for this, because it's becoming problematic. But if you look on the cost effectiveness, then it increases your sales by 10 to 15%. There is an average of about 5% on all sales of returns and problems and stuff. Then at the end of the day, it's profitable even if you're issuing a full refund. Okay, but you can choose not to do it. And the last thing that you're choosing is list as variation, or list each variation as a separate item. If you list as variation, it means that when you'll go into eBay, you will actually see each item and you'll be able to do drop downs and choose the variation. If you choose it list as a separate item, each variation will be listed as separate, and there won't be an ability to choose the variation. It's again a matter of strategy, whether to use variations, because then you're advertising or listing on eBay one item, let's say with 100 variations, so you have less exposure in the marketplace. But on the other hand, you're utilizing better the limits that you have regarding quantities and number of items and so on. Okay, so it's a matter of strategy. So I won't list it right now because someone is working on it. But after I pressed here, yes, create, it will take me back to targets into listings. And it's not listed yet. It's just being prepared to be listed. You see here, we have here completed and we have here click to start. The reason that it's click to start and not listed yet is that right now we have someone which is reviewing these items right before they're being listed. Okay? So if you go in here into this listing, you will see all the items. You see that the target is eBay. You will see the pricing. You will see everything. Now you can export everything, and this is what they're doing. You're creating an export of all the items to a CSV.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, so you created an export to a CSV. I know I have connection problems. Okay, so just a second, it's being opened. Okay, so I have a file now with all the items from this listing.
Okay.
Okay. Now, first I need to make sure that these things are not being corrupted when you open a CSV. They're sometimes being corrupted, and then if you'll save it, it will be lost.
Right.
Okay? Now, we shouldn't touch anything here, anything at all, but there are only two things that we can do here. One is we're going into the name and doing a change in the name in order to make it more appealing and more marketing oriented of the item. And we're going into the product, hold on, description, and we're doing here the same. After this being done, we're saving this, and the most important thing, we don't touch this. Okay, you can touch anything else here. You can change UPCs, you can change many things, but there is no reason to do it. You need to touch only the name and the description. That's the only thing that you need to change. And this for sure, because this is the identification inside our system. If you'll change this, we won't be able to retrieve it. Now, after I finished with this file, I saved it. I'm doing import of this file, and this way everything that I change here in the names and descriptions will be changed. After I'm done, and let's say I also chose to delete some items and do other things, now I'm going back here and I know that I'm done dealing with this query product Mandira Health, okay? And I'm pressing here start. When I'm pressing here start, it will just take you, it will show in progress. Let's see who did this. They're just, you know, when I'm pressing start on things that they're working on, afterwards they're showing at me. Hold on. Okay, let's say I'll press on this one for Bonanza. It's fine. So when I press here start, it becomes in progress.
Okay.
I can now stop it if I decided that I want to continue and edit it, or I forgot something. I can resume it. And if we'll go inside, we will see that the items, first on Bonanza specifically, it's an asynchronic listing. It's not like on eBay. It's not automatically on the spot. It happens asynchronously.
Okay.
but you will see that things are in progress. Okay, and you can filter here to see how many, for example, failed. Let's see how many failed.
Okay.
So we have here a few that failed. Let's see why. This one was Vero with a brand. This one is Vero with another brand.
Mhm.
Okay, so you have all kind of things which are only Vero related.
Mhm.
Now you can try and filter by completed.
Yeah.
Completed,
You want five
we don't have
columns.
any yet because, I'm sorry? What did you say?
Sai is saying something.
Ty? No, he didn't. He's on
Oh,
mute.
okay. Someone else was calling. Okay. No issues.
I don't know. So we have all these listings, and now it's being listed asynchronously. Okay. So let's see if it was listed in some way. Okay, so it's completed. Everything was sent to be listed asynchronously, and it will be listed accordingly. Now let's go for listings that were listed before. Okay, so we have here these items that were listed on Bonanza.
Mm-hmm.
You see these are completed already. You have here the profit, you have the target price, you have the pictures,
Okay.
which you can see here. You can see the item now on Bonanza as a client. Okay, so this is our item. You can see here the item originally on Amazon.
Okay.
And you can see some more information about this. So this is about listing, and you
Mm-hmm.
can now filter it if you want to find a specific item or you want to end specific items or something like that. You can filter it by listing dates. Or if you're looking for an ended item, you can look for ended date. You can look for items that were sold through different dates or didn't sell with a different price. There are a lot of parameters here of with sales, without sales, fast shipping or not fast shipping. Fast shipping relates to Amazon Prime that usually ship within 24 hours. Product condition, product bundle. Are you familiar with add-ons on Amazon?
Add-ons?
Add-ons, yes. Add-ons.
Oh, no. Nothing like that.
Add-ons
What is
items.
that?
Okay. Add-ons items are items which are very cheap items, which are kind of loss leaders of they're kind of loss leaders of Amazon.
Okay.
But in order to buy them, you need to have a minimum cart of $25.
Okay.
So our system knows how to place orders of these items automatically by adding to the cart a pre-order item, which is going to be only released in a few weeks. Then when the add-on items is being shipped and delivered, the system goes automatically and cancels the pre-order items.
Okay.
So this way you're managing to sell an item which is very cheap and it's a loss leader, and you're managing to sell it in a very good price and pretty good profit because no one else can sell
Okay.
it. And you're using this tool of the pre-orders, okay, which you can see. Okay, so this was about targets. Do you have any questions?
So what you're saying here is regarding the pre-order, you first go and push onto the target as a pre-order. You take the lost leaders and push it as a pre-order here.
No, it's the pre-order. It's related to the source. It's how we deal on the source.
But
It's on the Amazon account. On the Amazon account that we're doing the
Okay.
purchase, you're basically going and placing a cart which is bigger than what you need.
Okay.
but then we're canceling it automatically.
Okay. Understood.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.